Oh, it's Mr. P again for part 7, the final part of our writing. So hopefully we've been following these videos and we should have a piece of writing that is nearly ready to be finished, apart from the final episode. So without further ado, let's jump into the box and see if we cannot finish this last piece of writing. Part 7. Okay, in the box. Okay, where were we up to? Oh, my chair is squeaky, isn't it? Okay, what did we look at last time? Let's just have a quick recap. Where were we? We were at part 6, the final chance. So they went into the tunnel. The camera drones are chasing them through the tunnel. Change of light. To get shot, shower of sparks. Put the flare into the roof. The camera drone explodes and they are safe again. But oh no, it was down here from behind the bridge. Up rises the locator drone and they realise that they've got to do it all again. In English, there's a nice little idiom, I think, they say, out of the frying pan into the fire, they say. And that means the frying pan, if you're in the frying pan that's hot, and if you jump out of the frying pan, you're not hot anymore, but if you land in the fire, you're still hot, aren't you? So you've gone from one bad thing to the next bad thing, out of the frying pan into the fire. What little points did we try and explore last time? We tried to think about showing emotions, using your inside organs. So to think with your gut, you had a gut feeling, you're tense on the inside, her guts twisted, her stomach knotted. These are all ways to explain or demonstrate anxiety, isn't it? They're nervous. Here, heart rose, heart sank. She was heartened. She was determined not to be disheartened. All of those are about hope, really, about hope to convey to the reader that we are feeling hopeful. And here, her heart pounded as if her heart would burst. Thud, some more onomatopoeias there. So yeah, nice little techniques to include in your writing. So where are we up to here? We are up to now part 7. Let's just have a little recap of the video, what happened right at the end. So from here, yep, so they realise they've got to do it all again. Here we go. So the drone rose up, and here, there was a little bit of shooting here, isn't there, which nobody actually gets shot, but it just sort of adds a little bit of tension, doesn't it? A little bit of tension that there is intent there, and I think that's what makes it real, is that there is an intention there to do harm, although in the story no harm is actually done, which is good. But there is that tension there, isn't there? There is that tension, and yeah, the drone rose up, and here, you know, it was spitting bullets. I don't know whether you've heard that phrase before, spitting bullets. We looked at the other shot in the part before, where the laser beam created a shower of sparks. Yeah, spitting bullets. This sort of cool figurative language. It's just a really, really nice way of explaining something, isn't it? Describing something. So yeah, be careful with your verbs here. So they dodged. Why are they dodging? Spitting bullets. They sped through the highway, under bridges, and there could be a nice little sentence here about them trying to speed away again from this drone. But the drone is now in quick pursuit again. The drone is in pursuit again. It's a good word, isn't it? Pursuit. Pursuit just means to chase, doesn't it? To pursue. The drone is in pursuit again. They chased them down the highway. Desperate to get away. So now that's conveying to about our character. Our character is desperate. That means they really, really want to. Desperate to get away. She sped down the highway there. That really, we'd call that. That's what a little fronted adverbial, wouldn't we? So desperate to get away. Yeah. The air was heavy with the sound of gunshot and helicopter blades. Yeah. I think that's a really, really nice thing. This idea of the air being heavy, so that the air around you is just filled with two things: the sound of gunshot and the vibration of these rotor blades. Yeah, so it's just making the scene more dramatic, isn't it? Yeah. And then this is a fantastic scene, isn't it? A really, really, really great scene. Suddenly the drone has sort of whirled around and they're kind of now facing each other, aren't they? She is here in a bike and the drone is there, and you know they're eyeing each other, aren't they? Maybe like gladiators or boxers in a ring. You know, there's nowhere else to go. They're just face to face, just them two. The final showdown. Okay, they reach for their sword. I do like to have my character now. She's definitely a she. She's really living in my mind now. She reached for her sword. I don't know, what could you call this sword? It sort of flashes electricity. It's obviously a futuristic sword, isn't it? A nano sword. I thought she reached for her nano sword. And then she drives head on at the drone, doesn't she? What's she doing? Why would she drive head on? Surely that's the wrong thing to do. And you want the reader to start thinking, why are you doing that? You've got to get that across to the reader. Why would they be driving head on? Here's the plan. Suddenly, she veered. Veered means to turn away suddenly. It's a good word, isn't it? Suddenly she veered off and sped up a side ramp. Seems to be part of an old broken bridge, doesn't it? The side ramp, let's pop that in there, of an old broken bridge. Yeah, and again, look here, her heart in her mouth. Yeah, if her heart's in her mouth, that tells us that she's now feeling really, really nervous. Yeah, even though she's doing it. Her heart was pounding through their chest. Maybe her heart would pound through her chest, you know, actually come out. She's that nervous. So you can play around again. It links back to what we were talking about, the organs, wasn't it? It's a really, really great way to explain tension, isn't it? Okay, good. And then this is it. This is really the final climax, we'd call it, of the piece. And she leaps off this disused bridge. It all went quiet. She somersaulted through the air like I don't know, what could you put here? Yeah, what could you put here? She somersaulted like what? What somersaults? An acrobat in a circus, a gymnast performing at the Olympics. You know, she somersaulted like a cat. Yeah, I don't know. You can choose there. Simile is a great, really, really powerful way of describing things. So have some fun there. She somersaulted like what? The bike wailed into the distance as she, remember our little as friends talking about two things happening at the same time. The bike wailed into the distance as she somersaulted. She landed on the drone and plunged the sword. Where did she plunge it? And this is great, isn't it? It goes like that in the scene. Then there was a bang, and it all went black. Now the reader's thinking, what's happened? What happened? Did she survive? Did she not survive? Did the drone? Well. And then you can start off here to finish it. You know, it's just a couple of sentences now. The wreckage lay. She stood upon it. She walks off. The gravel crunching. So this is a very, very, very quiet scene, isn't it? I love that. I love that. It is over. Has she been victorious? Oh, we don't know. We don't know. She has one final look at the screen, but it doesn't seem to work. And then she walks off. It's a tough world she's in. It's all well and good saying this stuff, but actually getting going sometimes is quite hard, isn't it? Sometimes getting going is pretty difficult. So what I've got for you here, just a couple of little scenes, maybe that we can just get us started off. So here, this little scene here, I just thought this is a little sentence starter, really. Then, like a bad dream, the locator drone rose up from behind the bridge again. But this time it felt different. It aimed its guns and opened fire. With cat-like reflexes, then you're off. Tell us about how she got away. Yeah? So that's a really nice little starter just to get you going there. The next little bit you might find difficult is where she's actually, she's spun round and she's sort of facing the drone. So here's a nice little starter to get you going there. The drone whirred past her, quite like that, and spun around so that they faced each other like, what did we say before, boxers in a ring, gladiators in an arena. There was only one option left. She revved the Norton 7000 hard. Here we go, she thought, and she sped head on towards the located drone. That will take you into riding up the slipway, the old broken bridge, and then doing the somersault. So there, just finally, there's two little difficult points where you might think, how do I actually get going? Sometimes starting off is the hardest thing to do. So there's a nice couple of little starters there for some of the more difficult moments of that scene. Getting that finished, have her walking away from the scene, leave it a little bit open for the reader. We don't know what she's going to do next. That's okay. And then you finished your writing. Pop it in an email, send it to me, and I'd love to read it. Okay, finish off your story. Most importantly, don't forget to have fun with your writing and enjoy yourself. Okay, well, bye-bye.